Hello parents, we are at week 6 already, so we are a quarter way done. I'll start with the timeline. The timeline starts with India's, so we're going to make a dot on our forehead, India's Mauryan Empire. This is an M in sign language. Mauryan Empire. Mayans of Mesoamerica. You're going to make little steps up. Mayans of Mesoamerica. Punic Wars. Rome conquers Greece. Roman dictator Julius Caesar. Caesar, C for Caesar, Augustus, and the Pax Romana. John the Baptist, and next week will be Jesus the Messiah. So that's week 6, and then I am going to go straight to geography. With geography, I'll show you my board. So with geography, we have the European mountains, and we are going to make a little thing. We're going to say it's Pyrenees, and we're going to say we take our pair of knees to climb the Alps. Then we get in our car and ride on the path, Carpathians, to get to the Caucasus Mountains. When we look up, our gas is finished, and we say, "You're all crazy." Ural Mountain. And I will show you on the maps. I will show you the maps I have. I see with the kids that they are, when we do review games, they can say, if I say European mountains, they will say what it is. But when I ask them, because I always have these maps of me, I have the black line maps, and I will ask them where something is, and they cannot find it. Remember with review, with Memory Masters, whoever tests them is not going to ask them where is the European mountains, or they're not going to say what's the European mountains. They are going to point to a mountain range like here and say, what is that? And they need to say that is the Pyrenees Mountains. So in your guide, 219 has the black line map. I suggest you go to the map on 227, the Europe map key, and let them go over it until they know where the mountains are. And then go to the black line map and ask them, what is that? That's the Pyrenees Mountains. What is that? That is the Alps Mountains. And what are those? That's the Carpathian Mountains. What are those? Caucasus Mountains. And what are those? That's the Ural Mountain. So they have these little maps that we use in class, and they will use their marker, and we will find, I took my pair of knees and I climbed the Alps. Then I got into my little car. That's actually in a little, you can see it's like in a little car shape. They can make the wheels if they want to. Carpathians Mountains. I took my car on the path, Carpathians Mountains, and went to the Caucasus Mountains. My gas ran out, and when I looked up, I saw it so far, and I said, "You're all crazy." So Ural Mountain is the last one. So yes, make sure, grab your maps out of your CC guide and let them practice where it is. It's a great thing if they know it's the European mountains, but it's even more important that they know where it is. So for history, it's tell me about the Renaissance, and we will do during the Renaissance period, because that's what we do for Renaissance in our timeline. During the Renaissance period, Da Vinci, and we are going to show a D in sign language, which looks like this. Da Vinci was a famous inventor. Shakespeare was a famous playwright. Michelangelo, we just did it in the timeline for Mauryan Empire. So Michelangelo was a famous artist, my paintbrush, and Copernicus was a famous scientist. And the song goes like this. During the Renaissance period, from 1350 to 1600, Da Vinci was a famous inventor. Shakespeare was a famous playwright. Michelangelo was a famous artist, and Copernicus was a famous scientist. And that is it for history. For Latin, we have the same as last week, which was the first conjugation endings, future tense. And we have the symbols. You can go back to last week if you can't remember it, but it goes like this. Bobus bit, bimus bitus bunt. First conjugations, future tense. And then for science, we have what are 6 types of pollution. And they are going to say 6 types of pollution are, and we're going to start at the top. So it is noise, air, we're going to blow out air, water, so we are going to go from the ears, noise, air, water, we're going to make waves down, water, then comes land, we're going to make flat land, then thermal, thermal is hot or cold, so we are going to say thermal, and the last one is radioactive, so we think green, radioactive, and we're going to make hair up, so radioactive. So what are 6 types of pollution? 6 types of pollution are, and we're going to scream for noise. Noise, air, water, land, thermal, radioactive. And then for English, we have possessive pronouns. The kids should have no problem with that. That was one of their first words. It's mine. The possession is mine. Make sure with English that they know which one, because it's going to get confusing. I add a little thing. Like with last week, that was the objective pronouns. I added it belongs to, so I can remember. It belongs to me. The object belongs to me. Possessive, it is mine. So it starts with it is mine. So the possessive pronouns, it's mine, yours, he, hers, and his. It's ours, it's yours, it is theirs. Last week was it belongs to them. So, obviously with Memory Masters, they are not going to say it is. It's just a way for me to remember. So I know what it is. And it's the same song again than last time. Name the possessive pronouns. The possessive pronouns are mine, yours, hers, his, ours, yours, theirs. So, the possessive pronouns, mine, yours, hers, his, ours, yours, and for math, we will use the math wheels only for the 12s. This is the last week that we can use the math wheels, because up until now everything was up until 1 times 12 or 2 times 12 was the last one, where from next week we're going to the 13s and it goes up to 13 times 13, which means there isn't enough space on the wheels. For the 11s we will have 2 teams. Well, the kids are divided into 2 tables. each one will have a ball which they would pass along and say the number as they go along, 11, 22, 33, 44, and we will have a number circled again where they can sing it loud while they are singing it. And then for the 12s, I've already filled in there because it gets more complicated right now, and so it's good for the kids to see the numbers a few times first before they start erasing, and we will sing the song while 12, we go around. 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120, 132, 144. So they see the numbers, they make the relation between 12 times 1 is 12. So do the wheels, have them either fill it in, you fill it in for them. I have a wet erase marker so it doesn't erase easily. And let them sing it, point with their finger over and over again until they know it. Then start erasing, then do it over. 11th is fairly easy, so we will just do the ball, and they love the shouting the numbers in between. And that is it for math. For art this week, it is our final drawing project for cycle 2. So I like to give the kids a bunch of mediums like pencils, paint, crayons, markers, any type of thing, and we are going to incorporate all of what we've learned the past 5 weeks. We have done oils the first week, we have done mirror image, we have done upside down image, we have done abstract, and we have done perspective. So I made them an example, and they will use their own imagination. They will get one paper, they will draw what they want to draw. They can incorporate one or more of the past 5 weeks. My example includes all of it so they can get an idea. And I did a self-portrait, that's why I asked you to give me a picture of them. I have made black and white copies. For art project, we have, for art project this week, we have, this is our last week of drawing for cycle 2, so I like to give the kids a good chunk of time and let them get really creative. It is basically covering the past 5 weeks, what we've learned. I will review with them the 5 weeks, and then I will give them pencils, and I have a canvas for each of them. I have lots of different mediums that they can use, and they can decide if they want to do one or more of what we've learned. I have used all 5 past weeks in mind. That's why I asked you to send me a picture of them. So I've done a self-portrait myself. I have made black and white copies of theirs. Mine I folded in half, and I had it upside down, and I drew it upside down first, and then I copied the top. So I have upside down drawing, I have mirror image. This is the line. If I fold it, this is going to fit on top of that. Perspective is the perspective lines. Closer is bigger, further is smaller. The oils are circles not colored in, circles colored in. Angled lines, I have angled lines. I have S's as any curve. Abstract, obviously the whole thing is abstract. So yes, this is kind of a fun thing, and it just review the past 5 weeks before we move on to tin whistle next week. Thank you. Have a great week, and I will see you for week 7.